inclusive growth. Last month, it was announced that the country's economy had slid into a technical recession after the gross domestic product contracted by 0.7% in the second quarter. During these tough times, with petrol going up and the recession hitting South Africans, Romeo Kamohelo Hadebe is a financial consulting expert at Entrepreneurs, and he's joining us now from our Durban studios to discuss possible solutions. A very good afternoon to you. With petrol being so high and affecting so many people, what can be done to ease the burden on South African consumers?
Good day to SABC listeners. What can be done basically is, from the consumer point of view, we need to look at the budget of a consumer, saying, where can I really cut down on my expenditure to basically support my disposable income. So from a personal point of view, we look at saving on fuel by taking lift clubs to come to work, and we can also look at taking a budget when you go into your shopping store. Have a list that would assist you into deciding exactly what you buy, so you don't actually find yourself having unnecessary expenditure.
We keep hearing about entrepreneurship being the solution for creating jobs, and quite a lot of stories are being told about new entrepreneurs, startups coming up all over the country. Why are they not able to create solutions for the scourge of unemployment?
The main challenges facing small entrepreneurs, especially in South Africa, is the red tape that they currently face when we're dealing with supplying mainly public departments. So you find that the turnaround time from where a supplier has provided the service to the government entity, public works, for example, the payment from the payment time they receive the money takes longer than usual, which gives them financial distress in managing their cash flows, and then the business itself suffers from growth with these financial challenges. So mainly when you look at supplier being paid on time and from the government point of view.
As a financial consulting expert, who are your clients and how do you advise them on how to deal with these tough times?
So my client is people who have basically found fortune through large sums that were basically inherited through, let's say there's a pension fund, you are retiring, or you've benefited from an estate, or you've won the lotto. So you would need guidance from me as to, how you would spend the money, and we look at how one individual's case and look at your needs. So do a proper needs analysis that will help us find out exactly if you are covered with risk, if how long you have to live, and we look at how we can distribute your income through available asset classes or investment solutions.
So actuarial experts have started to say that the first people, the generation that will live up to 200 years has started to be born now. We've even seen adverts in this regard. How far can people stretch their pension money?
Well, it all depends first on how is your health as a pensioner. So you find there are chronic illnesses like your cancer, and diabetes, which are basically contributing high to the deaths of mainly people. So the health of a pensioner at this point will be the one we need to consider. And how big is your pension? I mean, looking at the current cost of living, if you look at a 1 million rand, what it used to get you back in the days compared to now. Now we have increase in fuel prices, as you've seen COSATU demonstrating their anger as to how many times the South African consumer has been under pressure. Remember, we started in February with a 1% VAT increase, and we've had so many consecutive fuel price hike. And so all of those things contribute to your expenditure and the cost of living. So we really have to do a needs analysis to first determine how much you need to survive, so as to how long you would need to be covered or your pension can last you.
You talk about the costs of healthcare consuming a large chunk of people's investments or their savings. How are people preparing for this eventuality, the being able to afford healthcare when they reach a certain age in their life?
That's a very good question, especially since the South African consumer is under pressure. If you look at the general prices of healthcare in South Africa, even internationally, it's very high. So most people, unfortunately, in South Africa are not covered, don't have health insurance. So they would have to shop around to compare and find, within their budgets or disposable income, what will they can afford. So shopping around available products in the market. But mainly I would start to saving. The saving is something that's currently lacking within South Africa. So to encourage South African consumers to save as little as they can, save first, then start with spending. But also, visiting a financial advisor can be a first point whereby your needs analysis is done properly, and we may find which risk factors, because people depends case by case as to their circumstances.
I hear what you're saying, but one of the biggest stories in the country this week is about how people who were committed to saving in the VBS story, their monies were taken away, and there's a chance that they might never recoup those savings. To what extent can people trust financial advisors?
Actually, thanks for raising that up. That has been one of the trending topics within the past few weeks, the VBS corruption case. Well, at first I would say we need to look at financial services providers. They what's this? How long have they been in business, and their credibility? Are they registered with the regulatory bodies? And use financial advisors that has been around, that have seen test of times when we speak of their existence and being a service provider to the economy. So the VBS case has been a big a trending topic regarding corruption. And yes, I would say speak to financial advisors that are registered and they come from businesses that have been around for quite some time.
So also about your advice for people to save, what type of savings should people be looking into? It depends on the disposable income available, but saving in long term, first point will be looking at long-term savings. So we have savings clubs, which we call stokvels. I'm sure we might be familiar with one. So that's the basic level where one can be saving. But we also have platforms such as easy equities, where you can buy shares from as little as 50 Rand, 10 Rand, and so forth. Even those managed products, your bundled investment products from your insurance providers, you can start investing from as little as 300 Rand, 500 Rand. So it all depends on the investment plan and investment goal of each individual and each client. But there are available avenues. Should you seek, you may speak to your financial advisor or come see me. I will also be available. So where can people get a hold of you?
I have a national Facebook account, Romeo Hadebe, which is where most people can find me posting about matters regarding the economy, markets. So you can easily find my contact details there. Or if you're on Instagram, there's romeo.caps. You're welcome to just inbox me, and then we can set up a meeting, and then we do your proper needs analysis for each and every individual.
You see, there's your fourth industrial revolution. Business people can be gotten a hold of on their pages. Thank you so much for your time, Romeo Kamohelo Hadebe. He's a financial consulting expert and entrepreneur. Let's take a break.